Hi, Jim McLean. I'm in my Superstation bay at Doral. We've got the net down. We take the net up and down when we teach here. We've got 4 bays at Doral. That's called our Superstation. And one of the additions we've made for the past 3 years has been the TrackMan. And the TrackMan's been fantastic for many different reasons. And I'm doing TrackMan University seminars, 3 of them in 2012. You're invited to come. Love to have you come. And my part in that is how to teach with the TrackMan. These guys that do the TrackMan are scientists. They're brilliant people. And they can read out numbers that you cannot believe. But you also have to be able to teach with it. And that's my piece of the seminars, is effective teaching with the TrackMan. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. The things that are pretty understandable, can get a little detailed, but one of the things I want to talk to you about is that the TrackMan is positioned straight down the target line. Now that happens to work good for me because that's the way we've filmed for the last 40 years. So we've got 40 years of video shot right down the target line. And the reason we always did that is because always felt that the most important part of the swing was through impact. So you could see the arc of the swing, plus you can see where the ball starts when you're filming down the target line. I've noticed that most teachers do just the opposite. They put the camera inside the target line. Some of them even put it as low as on the butt end of the club or on the body lines, on the toe line. I can never really understand that. You can't see where the ball starts from there, for one thing, and so ball flight for a teacher I think is probably the most important thing to look at. Where's the ball going? Is it drawing, fading? Why is that happening? So putting the camera over there, you can't tell. So I didn't like that. And plus the inconsistency involved in where that camera is put makes a tremendous difference. So when the TrackMan came out, I was very happy to see that it's right down the target line, and they have a little camera in there. So it matches up with all the things we've done forever. So I think that makes it easy for me to teach with the TrackMan. Now I'm going to talk about the setup in golf and why things work, how top players figured things out. If you looked at Hogan's book, 5 Lessons, the #1 all-time selling book worldwide, Hogan knew all of this TrackMan stuff 70 years ago. That's the way he played, and I just wanted to explain that to you a little bit. With his short irons, Hogan advocated ball in the same position but aimed left with the toe line. So with the wedges, that allowed Hogan to swing the club to the left more with his short irons. So almost all professionals would tell you that. Good teachers, I think, would say you're more open and narrower with your short irons. That's very, very important. So there we got, that's a pitching wedge. Now I move up to a little longer club, a 7-iron. So now I'm squaring up more, maybe slightly open, never close with that short iron. You can play a little more open with your up to a 7-iron, 6-iron, 5-iron as well. But you're trying to get the swing on that path line so that the ball will go straight. And in order to do that, you have to have that club swinging back to the left with your short irons. And that's because you're swinging down on a plane, and as the club's coming down, it's still coming from the inside. So very important to understand that your short irons are more open and narrower. Now when I get to a hybrid, a lot of you are using hybrids now. For the hybrid, when I set up, I'm going to definitely square my stance up, pretty much square to that line, or some of you might even go slightly closed to get it a little more from the inside. But you want to still hit your hybrid on a downward blow. So that means to do that, you've got to be forward on your left leg, you've got to have the shaft leaning a little bit forward, and you're going to take a little divot to hit a good hybrid shot, just a little skimming divot. Then when I get to the driver, now I'm going to be into a different situation. Hogan dropped his right foot off the line into a little closed stance, ball forward, more shoulder tilt, and now you're set up to actually hit the ball a little more from the inside and definitely on an ascending blow. So the TrackMan reads out these numbers for me. So when I look at those numbers across the board, I can see what adjustments we have to make. And everybody's a little bit different. Those are basic ideas for you to have. But if you're naturally an outside-in swinger, the TrackMan's just going to read that out. The teacher has to change you, has to make the adjustments, has to get your arms in a better position, get the transition better, get the club falling down better to come from the inside so you can hit, you know, the right amount of down and get the right amount of bottoming out on your golf swing. The TrackMan, though, is so great because it reads the numbers out for you. Those are the things I'm going to be talking about at the TrackMan seminars. We call them TrackMan University. I'll be doing 3 TrackMan University seminars in 2012. One is March 19th in West Palm Beach, Florida. One is about June or July at my Fort Worth school in Texas. And then we're going to do one sometime in November in Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, if you check here on Revolution Golf, we'll have the exact dates for you. And as I said before, you're very welcome to attend.